Shaw, since being sent down to AAA, is 1 for 10, batting 100, with 3 walks over his last 3 rehab games with AAA San Antonio. So the walks indicate positive, right? The walks indicate he's seeing the ball, okay? But he's still struggling to make contact. And 1 for 10 over his last 3 games, but 2 for 19, hitting 105 with no extra base hits through his 5 rehab games in total. Now, he's eligible to come off the IL at any point now, but what are the Brewers going to do with him? Okay? Is he going to play? Do you think he's going to go back to Milwaukee and start playing over Keston Hiura? I don't think so. Not hitting 105 at AAA. That's bad news. This next is more than bad. It's bad and it's sad. Odubel Herrera. I guess by now you've heard the news. Odubel Herrera was placed on administrative leave Tuesday while Major League Baseball investigates the domestic violence incident he was arrested for on Monday night. So he's out for at least 7 days, and the investigation and administrative leave could be a lot longer than that. He could then also face, if found guilty of domestic violence, a fairly hefty suspension. Now, what happens while he's out? Who gets that playing time? Scott Kingery. One of Lenny Melnick's boys, right? Scott Kingery. Against left-handed pitching, Kingery is going to play center field. Against right-handed pitching, McCutcheon's going to play center field. But Kingery's going to get the large lion's share of the playing time. So if Scott Kingery, who was hitting .375 on the season, is available in your league, go get him. Go get Scott Kingery right now. Quit listening to me. Go at him. He's going to play. And you know what Arnie says? Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And so, sad news for Odubel Herrera. Wish him the best. If he was involved in these things, then hopefully he'll get the help that he needs. A few more notes here. How about Juan Soto? You know, he extended his hitting streak to 11 games with a double off Jose Urena last night. He is hitting .463, Juan Soto is, over his last 11 games with 6 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, 8 runs scored, and 11 RBIs. Now, he was off to a slow start, but he has really kicked it in gear. I mean, he went from like first gear to fourth gear. His .897 OPS is just a hair below how he performed last year when he was a top-rated rookie, second in the voting for National League Rookie of the Year behind Ronald Acuna Jr. Soto has finally found it. No more sophomore slump for Juan Soto. He's really hitting the ball. Got a few more players to go over, or at least one more to go over. And I'm going to go into the rookie realm one more time. How about tomorrow? Tomorrow the Cardinals are calling up left-handed pitching prospect Gensis Cabrera. And he's going to bring his high 90s heat to the archway to the west, St. Louis. They're going to call him up for a start in Philadelphia on Wednesday, and we're going to see how he performs. Now, this is his first ever promotion to the show. He's 22 years old. He's on the Cardinals' 40-man roster. He was a minor leaguer with the Rays. Okay? He came over in a trade last July involving Tommy Pham, when Pham was shipped by the Cardinals to Tampa. As part of that deal, Gensis Cabrera went from Tampa to St. Louis. He's now risen to AAA Memphis, and his numbers on the season are not that good. If you look at the total package on the season, here it goes. A 6.35 ERA. 4.31 walks per 9 in 39 and 2/3 innings. Okay? Unimpressive numbers, right? But the Cardinals have high hopes for him. He's got a fastball that can reach 98 miles an hour. Okay? Baseball America ranks him as the Cardinals' number 6 prospect. Fangraphs, MLB number 8 and Fangraphs number 14. Maybe that's all important, maybe it's not. Okay? But here's what is important about Gensis Cabrera as of late. Okay? I'd like to look at the last 3 games with you. On the 10th of May, he pitched 6 innings and struck out 9, only giving up 3 walks. On the 16th of May, he pitched 6 innings, struck out 4. On the 21st of May, he pitched 6 innings, struck out 6. Okay? His last 3 starts, he's been a lot better. That's what I'm getting at. And so the Cardinals see that. The Cardinals will give him a shot. Now, will he stick or not? I'm not sure. Am I telling you to go pick him up? Absolutely not. Am I telling you to look at him? Yes, I am. Very similar, if you will, to Mitch Keller and the Pirates. Okay? I am not saying go add him to your fantasy team. I am saying take a look at him tomorrow and see what you think. Any kid that can throw a 98 throwing mile-an-hour fastball from the left side, a lefty who can throw that hard, is worth a look. That's all I can say. If you want to take a flyer, if you're short on pitching, yeah, take a flyer. Why not? But, again, I'm not recommending going cutting a major starter here for him, but I think he's worthy of consideration. And the Cardinals need to win, and they know that. And for them to call him up, he must have shown them something, and it must have been good. Another couple prospects before we get out of here. How about Mr. Kyle Tucker for Houston? Yeah, Kyle Tucker started the year. He wasn't doing much, was he? But over his last 7 games, 5 home runs and 8 RBIs. Yeah. And so I'm wondering, Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Super 2 is this, like end of this week, first of next week. It's time to call these guys up. And you heard A.J. Hinch on that interview saying how banged up guys were. Alvarez is getting a call. But I think Kyle Tucker may also. Keep your eye on him. And here's another one for you before we get out of here. How many of you are familiar with McKay, the pitcher DH for the Tampa Bay Rays? He was at Double-A. Okay, well, let's give you a little history on him first. He was a 2-way star when the Rays drafted him, 4th overall in the first round in 2017 out of Louisville. Okay, his arm is much more advanced than his bat, but he was a dual threat. Okay, hitting only 159, no homers for Double-A Montgomery and Triple-A Durham. But his pitching is another story. The 23-year-old is 3-0 with a 1.30 ERA, 0.82 whip, walks and hits per 9 innings, 62 strikeouts, and only 9 walks over 41 2/3 innings for Montgomery. He's now been called up to Triple-A Durham. He's only allowed 2 home runs on the season. He has a mid-90s fastball. He has an above-average curve and above-average cutter. He has a great feel for pitching, keeps hitters off balance. He's Tampa's number 3 prospect, and he's going to be pitching for the Rays this year. You know he is. You know they're going to call him up. He's been promoted to Triple-A. What about if they give him 3 or 4 starts at Triple-A, and around the All-Star break, here comes Brandon McKay to Tampa? You add Brandon McKay to Tampa, I'm going to tell you something. I was talking earlier about it could be only 2 out of 3 in the American League East making the playoffs. Well, it could be that the hallowed Yankees and hallowed Red Sox fight it out for that final spot, which could mean these 4 games coming up at Yankee Stadium are, as Kevin said earlier, huge. I know they're in May, but those 4 games could be huge. If Boston could win 3 out of 4 in New York or sweep the Yankees, can you imagine what that would do to the standings? Likewise, if the Yankees would win 3 out of 4 or sweep the Red Sox, that would be debilitating. So, we're going to talk about that some more. I'm back here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I want to thank Lenny and Andrea for the opportunity to be with you on week mornings now. And the chat room response has been great. I hope you'll tune in tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We'll talk more fantasy baseball, only fantasy baseball. We're probably going to talk about the Cleveland Indians some tomorrow morning, okay? And there are a lot of things to talk about Cleveland. Some are good and some are not. But let's tune in tomorrow morning. Let's talk about the Cleveland Indians. Thank you for the chat room. Schedule tonight, let's see, Tuesday nights. Chappie and I are not going to be doing our show tonight. I'm not sure about Lenny at 8. Easy Kill is scheduled to be on at 10, so support your chat room. Let them know you're supporting them. I want to thank the guys who were with me today: Unholy Toledo, George, Lenny, Andrea, Royals 29, just everyone who was part of today's show. I just so appreciate you being with me. You guys go watch some baseball, okay? Let's pull for your favorite teams tonight and your favorite players. Go set those lineups. We'll talk about it tomorrow at 10 o'clock on Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. Good night, everybody.